Podcast Network presents sports for the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Price, XXV, Double I,
Rome,
D-Malo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Buggy, man.
This is the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome, everybody that's tuning in, wherever you're tuning in from. Shout out all my Spotify listeners tapping in with the pre-show content. If you aren't about with the pre-show, man, you don't know what the pre-show is. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then, man, you just don't know nothing, man. You just don't know. Pre-show listeners, tap in with us, man. But we here, man. It's the real thing, man. Gas presents sports for the culture, man. I'm your host for tonight. I'm Scruff Lion. Let me go ahead and introduce the gang. Top right, introduce yourself.
Price, XX. No, it's T, man. You know what I'm saying? That top right, I'm used to that. But y'all know what it is for me. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Hey, man, I'm feeling good. Good ass pre-show. It's been a good ass day. And let's go.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Top right. I don't know why none of y'all. I couldn't rotate. I was just trying to get the right vibe up there. Hollywood Squares, man.
I think you put the darkest person on the top right every time.
Nah, honestly, it's got nothing to do with that.
Technically, we're all shades of brown right now. Look, dark, lighter, and then lightest.
he outed you, Scruff. That's crazy.
Gas HR denies these type of
allegations.
These allegations are totally false. It's all about the aesthetics, though. Bottom left, introduce yourself.
It's your boy D-Malo. And shout out to our co-host for giving us a great fucking home run derby. Yo, the MLB did their fucking job last night. The only fucking game that mattered besides an All-Star weekend for these baseball guys was the home run derby. They kept up with the NBA, something that the NFL needs to do when it comes to giving us whatever they give us during that 1 week before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're gonna tap into that. Actually, I don't know if I'd say they kept up with the NBA, but bottom last person, go ahead.
Man, you know what it is, man. Your boy Young Rome 22. Hit that like button, subscribe button, follow button, man. We got a great show. Definitely check out that pre-show, man. That pre-show is definitely worth a listen.
Yeah, man. Tap in with the pre-show. But yeah, man, let's get into it, man. Let's talk a little something that we don't normally talk about, man. Actually, the hottest story in sports yesterday was actually Juan Soto and home run derby and Albert Pujols, man. Shout out Albert Pujols. Albert's been playing baseball since like I started watching baseball for real. So like that's pretty impressive, man. He's still out there going yard, in the home run derby, hanging with the young bulls. Juan Soto out there, Washington Nationals player, kind of one of the next big things. He's kind of in a little bit of a situation. He kind of like KD to some extent, in the sense that he don't want to play for the squad. He don't want to play for it. He turned down massive money. I don't know the exact figures of the deal, but it was a rather long-term deal, if I do recall, like 15 years or something like that. Something crazy figures as well. But Juan Soto turned that down, and then he went to the home run derby and he won the home run derby. So I actually was watching the home run derby last night for a little while, and I thought it was actually pretty entertaining. I do think baseball could do more to be more captivating, like something like a celebrity softball game or something. But Juan Soto was interesting, man. So let's talk about that home run derby. Anybody y'all watch that? Is it worth y'all time, man? These summer months are very tough, man, to stay hydrated on good sports. But what are y'all thoughts, man, on Juan Soto and the home run derby?
All right. Well, first off, I just gotta get this out the way, man. Like, we don't ever talk about baseball on this show, right? As an avid Nationals fan, I gotta say this right now. We don't ever talk about baseball on this show. G's the only one that ever brings it up, right? Now all of a sudden we gonna lead with Juan Soto and the turmoil with the Nationals and he turns down the deal. Like, I just gotta, it just seems like there's a lot of DC sports hate on this show, particularly from a certain two panelists. But I'm not gonna point no fingers or nothing like that. But it's just crazy. But my thoughts on the whole Sorto thing, man. It breaks my heart, honestly. Huge national fan. Me and my son love Sorto. Big fans every time we go to the game, cheering for Sorto. And they're doing him dirty. They're doing him dirty. He turned down the deal. They were like, all right, well, we're opening up trade offers. You just mentioned he won the home run derby. Well, did you know that he flew their coach? They didn't even provide, first class for my man. Like, he should have hit Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow could put you in first class. This is crazy out here for Sorto, man. Like, it's honestly very depressing. Very depressing. I got the Sorto bobblehead. I didn't want to bring it out. I'm a very sad Nationals fan, and I was kind of hoping we didn't talk about this, but here we go. First baseball topic on gas.
All right, like so, I got you said that so many times that I just have to clarify: is his name Juan Soto or Sorto?
Sorto.
You said it right. Soto.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, faux pas on me. Excuse me. Thought his name was Juan Soto this whole time. All right. So yeah, so he might get traded. This is what I'm hearing. T man, did you tune in the home run derby?
Absolutely not.
Not worth your time in the summer on a summer night on a summer Monday night in July. Can't get no love.
Absolutely not. I mean, I'm not going to stay up to watch guys toss. I don't even softballs to hitters. But I didn't watch it. But from what I've seen, you know what I'm saying, I saw the little clips, and looks like Juan Soto cheated to win, man. Am I the only one that understands the rules of the All-Star game? It looked like Juan Soto just swinging away. The rules state that the ball has to land before the next pitch. My man Juan's out there going crazy. But shout out to Juan. Juan, he's still a talented baseball player, home run derby and that. I do know enough about baseball to know that his on-base percentage is literally probably the greatest ever. You know what I'm saying? He's in that range. So shout out to Juan Soto. I didn't catch it, but I respect the home run derby the same way I respect the dunk contest. It's for the fans, and if the fans were entertained, then it did its job.
Word. All right. Yeah, I think we covered it. G, you got anything to add on this since you've been implying for more baseball?
So you guys are not.
The streets have provided you with an opportunity to talk about baseball.
So first of all, hold on. Don't interrupt me now. Let me take over at this point. So we're not going to talk about Julio Rodriguez giving us the first 2 rounds over 30 runs. My man went nutty buddy. It sucked that the last round was cut short. I believe he changed the timing on the round. That's why he only gave us 18 homers at the end. Like imagine you have to go with a guy that your first at bat, he gives you 32 home runs, and then you have to beat that in 3 minutes. And if you score,
people don't realize how tired you get crushing all those home runs.
Part of the home run derby, the strategy of not tiring yourself out in that.
Yes.
That's what happened to Pujols, because that's why Pujols changed his bat. He went to a lighter bat, and they also gave these guys a timeout. So you get to pick a timeout whenever you want it. But the guy, when he called his first timeout, he had already 19 runs. So you imagine that shit. My man went nuts. But if we're gonna go talk about Soto, I get why this guy could actually be the first MLB player to be paid $1 billion within 2 contracts. And I see why he left. If you think about it, right? The Nationals offered him $440 million for 10 years. If you break that down, it breaks down to $28 million per year, meaning that the Nationals actually saved themselves some money and undervalued him. So I see why my man said, I'm not taking that contract, and my man may come to New York. My man's gonna become a Yankee, baby.
Hey, G, that's where I gotta stop you though, because y'all said the same thing about Bryce Harper.
Of course, he said
y'all
that.
Said the same thing about Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper ain't shit. Fuck Bryce Harper. He chose Philly. He could eat a bowl.
Bryce Harper, that guy.
Hey, Bryce Harper could go to a Frank stand and have a whole bowl of them shits for all I care. Listen, all I'm saying is the Yankees, we got the assets. The prospects are good. Soto, you're talking about a guy that's only 24 years old, and you don't have to pay him for the first 2 years. You pay him afterwards. Him and Judge and Stanton for the next 5 years together.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I heard the Padres was a team
New
I heard mentioned.
York.
I heard a couple other teams mentioned. I didn't hear the Yankees mentioned, but you know
Jay.
how New York fans think that they're the fucking center of the universe.
Listen, my boy. Who the fuck doesn't want to wear the best pinstripes jersey of all time?
It's like the only pinstripe jersey.
No. You got the Cubs. You got the Dodgers. I think they wear them here and there. And then I think even Boston tried to do it. I'm on the Mets. But listen,
See, I could never play for the Yankees because don't you guys shave your facial hair?
you get to get the mustache, but that don't matter. Look,
Fuck them niggas.
Hey, watch your mouth, yo. Watch your fucking mouth, because nobody talks about no bitch ass Philly fans out here. Watch your fucking mouth.
I ain't shaving shit, man. Fuck the Yankees. I ain't shaving nothing.
You ain't got shit to shave anyways. Fucking patchy ass beard. Listen, it's nothing but a class. The only person, ain't nobody give a fuck about no beards. Listen, there's nothing wrong with the porn stash. The ladies love it regardless. Ain't nothing wrong with a baby face out here. Look at Steph Curry. He called that boy the baby face assassin. All the ladies love that light skin man. All I'm saying is nothing wrong with being the Yankees, man. And all I'm saying is this kid Soto literally might be the first player in MLB history to get paid $1 billion in 2 contracts, which is absurd. The kid is only 24 years old. By the time the first contract ends, he's gonna be like damn near 30, 32. And who's not going to pay him another 8 years to play for this team? Because he's literally just entering his prime. Consider that baseball is a lot different than any other sport.
I mean, this kid got to make $1 billion. It's crazy. I mean, LeBron just got and he's one of the greatest of all time. But I'm not even mad at the Nats for not paying him, right?
Nah, it makes sense. They're in a bad situation. We can't pay them. It's really why I'm heartbroken as a fan, because it's a lose-lose.
Y'all over the cap?
There's no cap.
Yeah,
there's a cap in baseball. There is a cap in baseball. The Yankees don't pay the luxury taxes long enough.
When you don't have when the ownership doesn't know what they're doing or who's it gonna be, then it's hard to take care of your players.
Well, they pay Scherzer, so. They pay Strasburg. we
already paid the pitchers or whatever, but it's like now they're gonna sell the team and all that, so it's like they're losing money. A lot of it, honestly, it's honestly a good conversation because a lot of it has to do with the fact that people don't really go to baseball games. People don't really buy baseball tickets or spend a ton of money on baseball products. So the owners are, trying to get out of it because despite the fact that the Nats just won the World Series not too long ago, they're not really, as popular as a Golden State Warriors who, won the NBA Finals. You know what I mean? Like the revenue isn't really there.
And
so that makes it hard to give Juan $1 billion.
No. Why isn't the revenue there?
Oh, because guys like T for some reason don't know how great baseball is.
I'll take that.
I don't even think it's just that. It's kind of hard when you got like MLB never, how you say, they have the worst marketing team in the last 15 years.
Bro, it's boring.
No, it's not.
So is golf.
No, it's not.
So is golf. And people love golf. Golf is boring. Tennis is boring.
I mean, look at it like this, bro.
Gymnastics is boring. And all that stuff is boring.
We get together in outdoor spaces to drink and talk and shit. Why can't we have fucking baseball going on at the same time? Like they should market it like that. You know what I mean? Oh, well, like some come and go type shit. Like just make the baseball like it's making a vibe. Take me out to the ball.
Not a bad idea.
You feel me?
So
they got make it a vibe.
Look, the sport is boring. Like golf doesn't have a stadium. And
put a club in that joint. I bet you there. I put a little lounge in that joint. That shit be lit. You got
whose baseball stadium got a
watch the game?
They got a jacuzzi. Don't somebody got a jacuzzi in their stadium?
Is it the Guardians, I think, because they don't call themselves the Braves no
Oh
more. The
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Guardians.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
See
That's a
the
It's
thing.
gimmick
different
though.
now.
That's a
See,
really that's a gimmick.
but the thing about baseball, right? They don't market themselves correctly. The only thing that keeps baseball relevant right now is between the Yankees, the Dodgers, Boston, because those are teams that there's a generation's worth of families that go to those ballparks. You got the Cubs that never won a World Series for damn near 100 years, and you had generation of fans just going, whether the product was good or bad,
Well,
they were
what killed the
going and
casual fans?
going. What killed the casual
I think what
fans?
killed it was the steroids. All the steroid use.
No, not true. Because when
I think
Sosa
that
and
killed it.
McGuire and Barry Bonds, these are all alleged, when those guys were going nutty
Yeah,
buddy, we were
when they were
watching.
going
Remember,
when they were going nutty buddy, not when they were getting caught up and going to Congress. When they were getting caught
but
up and going to Congress with swole necks talking about I didn't take steroids, that was when
you mean no
people
nuts?
hopped
I
off
didn't
baseball.
do it. I didn't do it. No, but what actually killed baseball was the fact that they made it, instead of making it like at that point, right? Baseball was at an all-time high because they made it about the individual players. We got Barry Bonds and McGuire, and out of nowhere they try to make it about the sport itself. At that point, look what happened to the NBA when they made it about players. It blew up. The product blew up. We cared more about the players than the actual teams. At one point, people were just watching AI just to watch AI and didn't give a fuck about the Sixers. The same thing about Michael Jordan. And at one point, no, because look at you guys. You guys don't even care about the Spurs, and the Spurs were winners. When I said Tim Duncan, you guys hate him. You guys hate the fact that I throw him in my top 5
We still watched.
because we had to.
Look, I have to make bets to make baseball interesting, bro.
Thank you for the comment,
That
Angie.
bro,
That's real
bro,
talk, though. That's real talk, though. That's really the only time baseball be
bro,
interesting.
That's because
that's not
you got
even
a gambling problem. If you guys feel that way, you
yeah,
guys got a gambling
like
problem.
what?
Angie,
Like
No,
I
look,
got
I
you,
wasn't
mama.
doing
Talk to.
that.
I love
It
you,
just makes
mama.
it more interesting.
Football is exciting, and I place bets on that. So what does that even? You know what I mean? Like there's stuff that's already exciting.
If you want to get to the core of this, right? Uh, kids in my generation kind of knew baseball players, and baseball now they do not market to the black community, specifically the young black community. So you're not going to get that same fan base. Like, listen to the music, Jack Harlow and all that. Like, the money is in the black community, bro. Back in my day, people wore Ken Griffey's. Like it or not, people wore Ken Griffey's. I've seen people playing basketball in Ken Griffey's. My son lives in the DMV and does not know who Juan Soto is. Absolutely does not know who Juan Soto is. Does not know Steven Strasburg. Does not know Matt Scherzer. And you know why? Because they don't market these guys but to one community. And that's,
Damn, my bad, bro.
No, 2
No,
communities, but 3.
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because my son knows those players, and it's because of the fucking community, bro. And you're hitting it right on right now, bro. You preaching. You
we
preaching.
live in two different
No,
demographics.
yeah. And that's what it clicked because when you said Strasburg and Soto, I was like, damn, my son definitely know them, and I'm like, that's why. Like,
Oh man.
Like my son knows Roy Hachimori. Like they know obscure players on random NBA, NFL teams, but like I don't know any young kids for the most part that look like me, my color, trying to be the next who.
I tell you what, though,
Our Bell.
there's probably hella kids that was out, especially watching pool holes and shit, catching them in certain them countries where they breed for baseball. They was looking at that joint yesterday, and they was like, "Yeah, we
yeah.
could do this."
Nah, and that's where Soto's from, though. Respect, though.
So you guys are right. You know the nail on the coffin. Because if you think about it, the last 4 players in the home run derbies, right? 3 out of 4 of them were all Dominicans.
Bro, you can't fill up every MLB stadium with Dominicans, right? Eventually, this country will be minority white, and then maybe baseball will have a reemergence. But as it stands right now, like kids aren't looking to get out of the hood by swinging a bat. Kids
I
aren't.
mean,
Yes, they
honestly,
should.
it's not even just black kids. Really, like G's right. Like a lot of the best baseball players are not American. Like,
They're
period.
not. They're either coming from Venezuela or they're coming from Puerto Rico, DR, Japan. They're not even American born, and if you're American born, they don't participate in these all-star games. Look at Bryce Harper should have been there. Shit, Mike Trout. The last time Mike Trout played,
Yeah,
Mike
Bro,
Trout got embarrassed.
bro, also it's boring, right? Like my kids know who Justin Jefferson is. You know why? Because he does the gritty.
the gritty. Same with yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Like that's part of it. Like if you want to, like kids have to tell their parents, "I want to go to a baseball game." Right? The same way they say, "I want to go to a football game. I want to go to a basketball game. I want to play baseball." Like they're not saying, "I want to play baseball," and that's what's at the core of why no one's watching baseball. You're not marketing to the demographic that could feed your you know what I'm saying, your sport. You're just not. Soccer doesn't have that problem. Like it's an international sport.
It's an international. But the same
None
thing
of the
with
other sports
baseball.
really have that problem. All the other sports, I think, do a great job of marketing to the youth. Basketball does an incredible job. The NFL, they might not do the best job, but they definitely do a lot trying to, market to the youth. Like they're definitely putting an effort to it.
You can watch the Super Bowl on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, like
Yeah, the playoffs, you're right. And the thing about this is why I'm so mad at baseball because it's just like I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but I enjoy the moments when you're there, especially when you go to live games. Because you think about it, baseball tickets are the cheapest tickets you can go to any sports events, and that's the crazy thing about it. They're cheaper than basketball tickets. They're way cheaper than NFL tickets, and they're cheaper than any other tickets that I ever try to any other game that I have trying to go on.
And that's the
Like base
major key. And that's the
and
major key. That's the
and
major key, though. If you make it an affordable experience, because at the end of the day, we know how much a night out costs, right? That's how you got to think if you're these marketing teams. We know how much a night out costs, man. About $100, maybe $50, depending on how your night going. At least for starters. You know what I'm saying? So like you are going out to a game. Goddamn, you got kids or something too. All right, shit. You can be spending money, get a couple drinks. The ballpark joints be hiked up. If the drinks was cheap, I'm sure the attendance would be great.
hey, I got a cheat code for that. If you guys got a problem trying to pay crazy money on tickets, but that's for our pregame shows that I'll let you guys know how to do that. But besides the point, like so when I went to the last baseball game I went to, I didn't buy seat tickets. I bought one of those standing tickets. Can y'all guess how much I paid for those?
$20.
$10.
25 bucks.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
last time I
I'm
did it,
talking
it was
about
like $20.
Yeah, sounds
and
about right.
and I was at a Yankee Stadium, so of anything up in New York is already pricey, but that's what I'm saying is just like that baseball does not market itself correctly to the youth, to the demographic, and just in general, and it sucks because it's a sport that it should be right there with, in my personal opinion, it should be up there with the NFL.
Well, you see NFL players in rap videos. You see NFL players in movies. You don't see baseball players doing much of anything but playing baseball.
Yo, but that's a missed opportunity though. But why can't Juan Soto be in Bad Money video?
He
You
should be.
know what I
He
mean?
should be.
That's a missed
He might
opportunity.
be.
That's a
He
missed
might be.
opportunity if you
Yeah.
ask me. You feel
Soto,
me?
Soto, the type to do it. I think a big problem with MLB though and their image is Mike Trout. Mike Trout is like one of the best baseball players in the game, but he's like I don't know who to compare him to. He's the type of player that doesn't want to embrace the spotlight. Like he's not the type that's gonna go out there and be on TV or do a bunch of interviews, and
Yeah.
that hurts the league when one of your better players, wants. I mean, and that's his right. Like I'm not saying he's wrong for doing that. Like if he doesn't want to do that, he doesn't have to. But that definitely hurts the league in a sense when one of your
He's at
better
Eagles
players
games
doesn't want to.
regularly. Mike Trout.
Oh, is
He's a,
it?
he's a
See, I
regular
didn't. I
season.
didn't even know
He's
that. Like
he's a
he's.
season ticket holder.
I'm gonna give you guys another reason. And also this goes back to the youth a little bit too, right? Bro, the Major League Baseball highlights are the hardest to kind of decipher that it was a great play, right? We know how hard it is to dunk on somebody. We know how hard it is to maul somebody, right? We know what it looks like when ankles get broken. 642 double play. My kids are just gonna be like, he did what he was supposed to do. Like, same
I
thing.
don't know. I don't know. I think when
I
they're
think you got a good
diving,
point for there. Maybe.
making diving catches and doing all those kind of
You
things, the highlights are pretty lit. When they're stealing home runs,
right? You know the difficulty involved in that. And I'm speaking from personal experience as a guy that played every sport except basketball for the most part. I thought those plays were like easy to make. Like there was no way for me to know how fast your reaction time had to be until I played softball. You know what I'm saying? I had to actually go out and play uh, a version of the sport to realize like that ball's traveling at a
bro.
you can't
That
see, right?
yeah, no, it's
But
crazy.
to a kid on TV, it looks like a routine play. Like we know
Mm.
everybody can't dunk in the NBA.
Right.
We know everybody's not Tyreek Hill. We don't know that everybody can't throw from center field to home plate.
Okay, I mean, but in that same sense, a handoff where a running back runs 70 yards and only has to break like one tackle, that probably looks real routine too, though. You know what I mean? That doesn't look like
Nah, because he's still running 70 yards.
70-yard runners, like with
bro.
people.
That looks, but that's just somebody running though. Like you know what I mean? Like
Nah, it's not. Not
it's
if he's
not.
running. Not if he runs and hits his fucking line. Then
That's
don't
a
fucking go.
stretch, T. That's a stretch.
Trying to prevent him from running 70 yards. No one's
That's a
trying to
stretch.
him.
I think it's all in how the highlight is presented. If the highlight is, if I'm a young kid and I see someone get struck out, right, and they're just like, oh, strike three, he's out, right, and that's how they say it. I'm not gonna think that matters. But if it's ninth inning World Series and they're hooping and hollering and everyone's throwing champagne and all that at the end, I'm gonna know that that play that he just made was a big play or that it mattered. Like
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like as a kid, right? I knew that catching like jumping over the fence, right? Jumping over the wall, grabbing that home run. That was an amazing play to me in
so.
baseball.
So when you see a soccer play and they kick the ball in the net and it's a goal and everyone's excited, do you just think, oh, that's routine as shit? Like I could just go kick the ball into the, you know what I mean? Like
I every time you see a soccer goal, generally you see a goalie diving like his life depended
okay,
on it.
so when a baseball player is diving, like his life depends on it and makes an incredible catch, we're just gonna be like, oh, that looks routine. Like I could do that in my sleep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nah, not at all for me.
Looks
But
routine to me. Like
So a goalie diving is incredible. A
the
baseball player diving is routine.
goalie is trying to prevent the guy from kicking. When you're diving, it's not like anyone's tackling you. You know what I'm saying? When I see a diving catch in football, there's a defender. There's no defender on a outfielder. There's no defender on a shortstop. It's just him and the ball.
be crazy, dog. Crazy. All right, man. I think I've had enough baseball for 2022.
The disrespect. Oh my god, I'm so mad you guys talk about the sport like this. Oh my gosh.
Hey G
I'm
man,
just
I
kidding.
love
I'm just kidding.
baseball, man. I'm with you,
I'm
man.
just kidding.
I'm
We'll
with
talk
you.
about baseball again in October, maybe.
Give or take end of September. But no, but just to close off the segment, it sucks that baseball is it's where it's headed to, where it's just like, yo, the younger demographic don't know what is it to catch a fly ball or what is it to see a homer and not get a joy out of it. The fact that it's not we don't view it to be such a great thing.
I watch a man catch a fly ball drinking a beer.
Hey, honestly, it'd be lit though when they got the beer. Yeah, that should be lit.
Yeah.
Baby in his
That's
hand.
what I'm saying. You got to sell the experience,
Yeah, you
man.
do. You got to sell all that.
Like, sell me that. Show me that in the commercials. Holding the baby in one hand and the beer in the other, and you caught the fly ball. That'll encourage, dads to bring their baby to the game.
Man,
Especially if it's
throw
cheap
water
drinks.
balloons at the outfielder. Maybe I'll come.
Especially if it's cheap drinks. All right, man. Enough baseball. No, enough baseball. So yeah, if no sports going on, man. So Netflix is, a funny thing about Netflix is, come to realize is that even when you're not watching the actual app Netflix, like generally when Netflix refers to the whole digital library of content for the whole entire world. But that's not even the case, man. I don't know how many people actually have Netflix or pay Netflix. I actually just canceled my subscription last month because, like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Especially when you get someone else's password. But
Hey. You're watching.
exactly, I hope they're watching. But here's some news actually that dropped today. Netflix is expanding its push to charge people for sharing their accounts. So basically, they're going to start charging $2.99 in Central and South American countries as to anyone that's adding using the account on multiple devices or multiple homes type deal. In order to clamp down on password sharing worldwide. And they said they will be rolling this out worldwide as well. So I was wondering what y'all thought about this, man, because I thought this was an interesting story. People like, oh man, are they catching on? So somebody is always got the Netflix plug to some extent. But what do y'all think about this, man? Are y'all paying the $2.99 or y'all just boycotting Netflix? What we doing, fellas?
Yo, how
Get the strap.
my question is how do they determine what is password sharing? What if I'm logging in from my TV, my phone, and my tablet? Like, you know what I'm saying? And but all three of them shits is mine.
I think
Yeah,
that's a
that
good question. That's a good question. That's a fair question. I was
no, that's
thinking IP address maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm
I'm
just
not a tech. I'm not like a super tech guy, but that was
Three
what I thought.
addresses, so they're going to say only one IP address per account or only two per account.
Basically, yeah. So that's
That's
fair. So it makes sense.
but first of all, charging the Dominicans. This seems like a good at baseball time. I don't know. Like, why are you charging? Why are you starting with Central America in South America? That's crazy. But also
I don't know. I just that's a detail of the
that's
story.
what I thought when I heard that too. I was like, why they starting?
crazy. But not, like we got to make an example out of these Dominicans. Like that's crazy. But Netflix is wild. Like uh, they're not. Netflix isn't the streaming service that they were, right? When they took
Right.
away Blockbuster, they knocked Blockbuster off, and they were kind of the only thing. Uh, it made sense, right, to pay kind of whatever Netflix wanted, and it was a reasonable price. Reasonable price. Now I think it's a crazy price. Like I think it's $17.99. It's something high, and they
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
charge more money. And their content, and this is what I really want to say. Their content, Netflix content, isn't what it was, right? The Emmy nominations just came out, right? Um, Apple TV has far less original content and got far more Emmy nominations. So it's like Amazon Prime has good shows now. Hulu has
Yeah.
good shows now. So for Netflix to keep price hiking, it just tells me that they're losing money and they're trying to find a way to just squeeze their customers, and it's crazy. It looks like a whale that got I think Mark Cuban said this one time, right? About him, I forget what business, but basically, when pigs get fat, they end up getting killed, right? They get slaughtered. And I think that's what we're seeing with Netflix. Like it's bloated, and I think it's time for Netflix to get killed. And um, that's where it's going. I definitely wouldn't pay no extra money for password sharing. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Nah, you make a good point, T. You make a good point, T. G man. Last words on this.
Hey man, you guys hit the nail on the coffin. There's Hulu, you got HBO Max,
Disney,
you got Disney Plus, you got Paramount, you got all these other streaming services.
I don't even got none of those, but yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, I was thinking about the mother Jones. You know,
Yeah,
you got
you get me?
this
Like eventually, even that.
HBO Max, Disney Plus.
Paramount Plus. There's so many of them.
Yeah, so at this point, it's just like, all right, charge me for it, but I'm gonna end up canceling my subscription and probably only pop up whenever my shows are back on there again. Like I myself, I haven't even watched Stranger Things yet, the new season, and I know both parts came out already, and I'm not like I was more on Laura. I only got back on Netflix for the Academy.
Yeah, I feel it. That's what I'm saying. Like you could rotate, and that's what I do a lot. Like my shows is out of season. Like like I like stars, but like right now I'm not paying for no stars. You feel me? Because they don't got no stars. Y'all got no ghosts. I ain't paying for P. I watch P Valley later. I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? That's not good enough to keep the audience, man. So it's tough, man. It's tough, man. In this world of monetization, Netflix, yeah, man, they try to stay alive. Obviously, they took a major tank with their subscribers, and it's all about the money at the end of the day. But yeah, that's just something I seen in the news today. I thought it was interesting. But actually, I have been watching Netflix. Actually, I ain't gonna lie. Shh. I've been watching Netflix with sharing password, and I was watching some different shows, man. And I was just seeing some concepts, man. I was seeing some shows. I'm into some different things and shit. I was watching this joint called Homecoming, and it was like this couple. They was doing some emotional cheating, is what I saw. And it got me thinking, man, about emotional cheating. You know what I'm saying? It really did. Because I'm like, yo, well, that shit is like low key. I don't know. In my opinion, low key, it's worse. I don't know. It's worse, but like, I don't know. Is emotional cheating really cheating? I hear this all the time, man. It's become more of a normal thing. I hear people talking about they work wives and work husbands. You know what I'm saying? And things of that sort. You know what I'm saying? And being very committed friends as well. The layers of friendship. How many friends then turn into other things? Ultimately, that's a conversation for you and your therapist. But is emotional cheating really cheating? Rome, you sound like you look like you about to get spicy. Go ahead, man. What you think?
Oh, bro, emotional cheating is 100% cheating. I tend to agree with you what you said originally with it low key might be worse. It could be worse. I think it's the matter of opinion, though. I actually had this conversation with a friend not too long ago, and I mean, her take was, okay, so I'm saying emotional cheating is worse, but she's like, you physically cheat, somebody gets pregnant, now you have a whole baby with that person. You know what I mean? That starts a whole nother, can of worms. So I mean,
Mm.
it's a deep convo, bro. But I tend to think emotional cheating is a lot worse, just because to me it feels as though you you allowed that person to really come into who you were, and like get to know you, and y'all took it somewhere that you would only let certain people take it. So what does that mean for you and the person that you were with? Did you stop opening up to them? Did you start closing yourself off? You know what I mean? So it's just like, to me, if you're gonna do stuff like that, then you might as well end it altogether. Physical cheating could oftentimes be, I was drunk, the vibe was the vibe. I'm probably never gonna talk to this person ever again. You know what I mean? It seems like a little bit easier to forgive and move on. But the emotional cheating, that's a little deep, because even if you move on, who's to say you're not gonna open up to the next person that you click with?
Yeah, man. Nah, that's real, man. That's real. That's real, and that's valid, bro. T, man, what do you think about this joint?
I mean, cheating is literally in the word. So, yeah, emotional cheating is cheating. But I I guess when I think of it, where's the line that you actually enter the realm of emotional cheating? You know what I'm saying? Like, where is that boundary
That's a good
crossed?
question.
Because like, what? How do you negotiate a friendship between something that's more than friendship if you're not being intimate? If you're
I
not being
think I think it comes down to the vibes, bro. Honestly, it's like a discretion thing, in my opinion, and it's just my opinion. But I think it's a discretion thing because ultimately, like, what's considered cheating and not cheating and things. Certain things are definitely obviously off limits, but like obviously, I don't know. I think it's the intent and I think it's the vibes. You know what I'm saying?
well. I mean, does emotional cheating have the intent to make the situation physical? Like, is that always the case?
I don't know. I don't
Because,
know.
like, all right, so
Gonna
like
have to do some more research on that.
to piggyback off of what Rome was saying, right? If I'm now opening up to someone and not opening up to the person that I'm in a relationship with, like, how do I determine if it's if that's just a situation of friendship and this person is easier to speak to and easier to communicate with, or
Ah, okay, I got it. So the
Okay.
term emotional cheating describes a type of relationship between people. The term describes a bond between two people that mimics or matches the closeness of an emotional intimacy of a romantic relationship while not being physically consummated.
Okay, so both people kind of got to be on the same page that like we're feeling each other.
To
But
some extent, so like
So
so
it's
I'll
like a
give you
dick
an
cheat?
example. I'll give you an example.
okay,
Um, your wife is on the phone with her friend and Marcus for about 5 hours every single day. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, T. I'm sorry. Oh no, because it just sounded so salacious. But like that's obviously that would be like that'd be a red flag. You know what I mean? So it's just I guess it's
I get
like
what
I
T
said,
said though. I get
it
what T
depends
said
on the
because
vibes though. It really just
would that
depends
be
on
a
the
red
vibe.
flag though? Like, would that be a red flag? Like, I want to say it would be, but like T said, like if they're talking about, it is like how is that a red flag? Like, how do you say, oh, you talking to this mother? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's the like? You know what I mean? Like,
You're funny as fuck. Yeah,
no,
no. Yeah,
because
man, yeah, you got a
I
good point.
like, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this conversation or how
Yeah,
long you're having these conversations, but these
yeah,
conversations could literally be platonic.
yeah. And
yeah,
so, like I said, it comes down to discretion and the vibes.
And then I'm controlling. So like,
yeah, then you extra because you like trying to control what's happening with shit. It's nah.
it's a fine line, but I do think that if two people are, kind of have the like a bond where they both know, given the opportunity, they would take advantage of the opportunity and be more than friends. Then I do think that's certainly cheating. And like Rome was saying, I think that's far worse than the physical cheating because I think physical cheating, like Rome says, you can redeem yourself from that. Like you can forgive somebody because 9 times out of 10, most people have either cheated or been cheated on, and kind of understand the dynamics of that. And whereas if a person is kind of falling in love with a person or the idea of a person, like you, there might not be anything you can do to break that spell. That might have to run its course. So, like, yeah, emotional cheating is probably a worse form of cheating if all things being even and fair.
Yeah, I mean, what he said. Do you want to chime in, bro?
No, sounds about right. If you're saying that emotional cheating could lead into something deeper, then yes. Compared to just a hit and dash, was just we both got fucked up. It was never supposed to get there, but it got there because some alcohol, or just because on a vulnerable moment.
Yeah, I
Fuck it,
feel.
we
I
separate
feel.
I don't want to
ways.
poo-poo physical cheating either, though, because if you're in a
Yeah,
Yeah,
committed
because like
relationship,
relationship,
you should
yeah,
you should be, what I mean, you should. It can't just be, oh, I took some shots with the fellas, and what I mean, you should be stronger than that if really committed.
even both of them are worse regardless or not. Because like, what at one point are you afraid to talk to your significant other about certain things that you rely on another person of the opposite sex to do that with?
Maybe,
Ah, okay,
maybe
all right. I
Yeah,
had
there
to
you go, G.
educate myself on this joint, fellas. My bad, yo, my bad. So y'all,
Right?
y'all making some good. No, y'all making some good
Am I
points, y'all.
wrong on
Nah,
this? At what
nah.
point
Honestly,
do you sit there and ask yourself like, why do I have to talk to another guy about this when I got one at the house? At
maybe
that point, do
that's
you not?
kind of the issue ultimately, because like the partner is your real partner is feeling like you not sharing these things, and you getting a emotional connection with somebody else. For example, so Angie is there you go. If you're having a personal connection with someone other than your partner and don't share that with your partner, that's emotional cheating. Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair.
what if
I'm reading here also it says many of people who are emotionally cheating don't consider it to be infidelity. But here's an example. Here's another example. Sorry, T. I used you in the last example. Janice reconnected with Dean, an old high school boyfriend, on Facebook. The two started messaging back and forth and were soon sharing intimate details about the problems with their marriage. This sharing led to them forming an emotional attachment due to their feelings of mutual support. Before long, they were reliving their old courtship and wondering why they ever broke up. And they have so much in common. And now they like talking on the phone and shit. So it's not cheating in the traditional sense, but there's an emotional attachment that was created. And I think that's where the root of emotional cheating comes from.
What is
And to me, that's 100% worse. And maybe I'm coming from the perspective of a male. I love that Angie's chiming in. Shout out to Angie. We love female perspective. But to me, that's 100% worse because the dude that's messaging what was it, Janine or whatever in the example, the dude that's messaging her is coming from a position of power, really. Like, you're telling me problems with your husband and all this, so, like, you know what I mean, like, you don't have to see me on a day-to-day. You don't have to clean my underpants. You know what I mean? You see his dirty drawers all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's almost unfair. Like, it's like T said, it's nothing you could do if you're the partner that's being cheated on emotionally. You have to just let it run its course, because they fall in love with the idea of this person because this person hasn't had to do with the real part of the relationship, which is the day in and the day out.
part that takes work?
Yeah.
But to a certain extent, though, I do think like situations like that, some of them, not all, right? Some of them are born of the fact that the one or both partners don't know how to communicate with each other. Maybe
Yes.
don't communicate at all.
I mean, but why would you be with someone you can't communicate with?
People are with each other for a variety of reasons,
You're
and love
right.
always.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let's even T's making a good point, and let's dig even a little deeper. Part of the reason it would hurt more to be emotionally cheated on, and I think Scruff alluded to this too, is because the person is opening up to someone else about something that they may not have opened up to you about. So it has to do with a little bit of a jealousy factor. You feel like you know what I mean, like betrayed, like, oh, I wasn't, you know what I mean, like we've gone through da 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 da, and you are going to this person for that instead of me. So a lot of it has to do with possibly your own insecurities on why you weren't already communicating with your significant other, or why they didn't feel comfortable to come to you with whatever they come to them about.
I think there's that, and then there's also another layer of if you're the partner and they're sharing details that involve the other person, then
Whew.
that's low key not your business to be sharing. It is, but it's not. You know what I mean? Like the
Yeah,
third party. You know what I mean? So that's a problem as well.
now
Yeah,
that's another good point.
yeah. Once you get to the point where like you're more or less hating on your partner to someone else, um, especially someone that you're attracted to or you like yeah, like that's to me that's worse than cheating. Like now I'm like,
Yeah.
are you even my friend? Like,
Nah, real talk though. But I've seen this though. I've actually seen this. Shit, round the way, man. Back round the way, early days. I ain't gonna say no names, but I done seen this round the way. Shorty was messing with one of my mans. You know what I'm saying? And then she had a friend. You know what I mean? Just a friend, a male friend. They was talking a lot. That's how I started. You know what I'm saying? Then sneaking out. She going to bed. Oh yeah, boom boom boom. Hang up underneath the sweatpants. Got the freakum dress. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yo, and then shit. It turned out, it was ended up being more than friendship. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually, they ended up breaking up. And then, she ended up getting, wifing. He ended up wifing the deal. So now that's his girl, and then he ended up losing her the same way. But that's how life go. They come how they go.
I'm,
You get them how you lose them type shit.
relationships have so many crazy dynamics. I mean, but like, I think one of the issues that like leads to people emotionally cheating is like I think we have this idea perception that your partner has to be like your everything. Like they got to do
Yeah.
like your partner has to fill so many roles. Like I got to be your therapist. I got to be your security. You got to be your provider. You got to be shoulder to lean on. You got like you literally have to be everything, and I don't even know if that's reasonable.
Nah,
Like,
I be saying this all the time, man. Like people were sold this Disney image of like a prince and a princess and the happily ever after, and like you get with your person and it's just good. It's just like y'all are just straight, and that's not how it is at all, bro. It's a lot like you saying, T. Like you can't expect, and even you know what I mean. Like you as a person can't expect someone to understand every aspect of your problems or issue or agree with you, or you know what I mean. Like y'all are naturally gonna run into problems, bro. Like that's part of being human.
yeah, it's part of that whole success is not a straight line, adage. Like, and that's true in all forms of relationships. Like, if you every form of relationship, you're gonna have issues. Like with your parents, you know what I'm saying, coworkers, your friends, your siblings. So like even within a relationship, a marriage, and you can't just run and spill at someone, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't. But also everybody isn't easy to talk to. So I get why somebody would want to go and talk to somebody else. If every time I come and try to talk to you, it's something negative or you react in a way that makes me withdraw. Like I can see why somebody would want to go talk to just a kinder person, you know what I mean, or a more receptive person. So I
Yeah,
mean,
Let me ask
I
this
think
to
it's
y'all.
tough.
Let me ask this to y'all. Have y'all ever felt like you've been emotionally cheating? Like when you're in a relationship, have you ever felt
emotionally cheating.
like how yeah, like have you ever felt like you've been the one doing it?
No, like for me, right?
No.
I'm more likely to physically cheat than emotionally cheat because, like you said, Rome. I think that's a little bit more egregious and harder to come back from. Imagine falling in love with somebody that's outside of your relationship. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's crazy.
So
But I
like,
mean, to you made a good point earlier of saying like when does the line really like when do you really cross that line of being platonic and not? You know what I'm saying? Like when is it like oh your coworker wrote you like a note goodbye? Like you know what I mean? Like when is it like too far type shit?
yeah, like, are you bringing
I
up the
think it's like connect. I don't know. It's tough, bro. It's really a gray area, bro. But I think it's
Because
connection.
I've
It's
had
like
like
really depends on discretion and discretion of the connection. It really depends. I don't know.
because I've had good friends and been like yo is this too friendly? Like you know what I'm saying? Like are we
Yeah, nah. That's true though.
I
But
mean,
real talk. Like if you're a guy, I don't know.
I
I most of my girlfriends in the past used to
I
be
think in
a
the
little
back of
more
everyone's
conscious of my
mind,
female friends.
they know the line, right? In the back of everyone's mind, you know the line where your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife would be like, "What are you doing?" But that doesn't stop people. But I think that's probably the line, and that line is going to be different for different situations. But I think people know, like, all
yeah,
right,
that's a good way to put that
That
too.
is that is great. I get behind that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, if you feel like if you feel like you wouldn't share it with your significant other, then it's probably emotional cheating. Safe to say.
all right. So I think we have a general consensus that this is emotional cheating is probably worse. But I got a kind of a different question. Is cheating?
Yeah, that really got
Say it again.
blocked
I didn't
out.
hear you. What
Yeah,
happened?
it
Yeah,
literally
run
went
that
out
boat back, bro.
Oh,
right when he said it, it was like,
the sixth train. All right, I said, is cheating really the worst thing that can happen in a relationship?
Is cheating really the worst thing that can happen in a relationship?
Like,
nah, probably
Nah.
not.
I mean, yeah, worst thing that can happen is death. Like y'all could, she
Yeah,
could murder you or some shit.
no,
yeah,
I'm
I was gonna say
talking
probably
as
not.
far as being wronged, right? I mean, murdering you is
Oh,
high.
you mean in terms of infidelities?
Maybe, sure, but like
In terms of transgressions of a marriage, in
transgressions.
terms of violations of a
Right.
marriage,
All right.
marital contract.
All right. So, what's worse, your wife emptying out your bank account or your wife cheating on you?
Ooh.
Hmm. Hey, don't let her do both. Don't let her do both, bro.
Cheating on me. Because you can always get money back. Money can come back, but your time don't come back.
That's a good point, G. I'm not mad at that answer.
My money could come. I could get money here and there. If you're a hustler, if you're a person that gets money, money always gonna come back to you. So that's not an issue. It is what it is. You know what I mean? She bought whatever she bought. But cheating is where like, yo, you don't spend emotional, you don't spend your time, your effort, all down the drain for someone just to be like, nah, you weren't good enough. I'm out. I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? Do step out of line. And if if you're not paying that person with the same coin, when you just being faithful and they just, you know what I mean, you're being loyal, they go ahead and cheat. Yeah, nah, I can't do that. I'm gonna fuck around. What they say? Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
Nah, I'm with you on that, G. I mean, yeah, cheating is a
Like I said,
violation. Yeah, it's a
money could
violation
always
of
come and
loyalty.
go. Money could always come and go. But like that fact of you going stepping on a line, when if you're not doing that to that person, yeah, nah, I can't. Like I
So,
said, is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
Nah, but the thing
I'm gonna
about
channel that
emotional
in Wayne
cheating,
Brady.
it's really like, yo, in the context of what it is, it's like, yo, ultimately, it's nothing until, you know, if you end up breaking up with a joint and then her next joint is the one she was messing with, then you really know what the vibes was. You know what I mean? Like that's what it comes
hold on.
down to.
All right, let me try to spice this thing up again.
All right.
The G gave a good answer. Let me try to spice this thing up again. Can a person romantically love more than one person at a time?
Yup. I don't. I
Yeah,
don't. I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do, but yes, they can.
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
see why not.
They
It's definitely
definitely can.
possible. It's definitely possible.
Why
You
could
know,
why could you not romantically, feel something for more than one person?
I
I
mean,
think it's possible. I
I
think it's definitely possible.
it's so frowned upon, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's certainly possible.
I think if you're in the
Yeah.
dating process, you know, you're going through the dating process and you got options, as they say. You know what I mean? That's gonna happen. That might happen, especially if you like a couple of your options.
Oh,
You know, you especially and you might like them all both in romantic ways. It's not like you feel, oh, I like you in romantic way, and I only like physically. You know, sometimes it's like that, but like, you know, sometimes it's not. You know, so yeah, it's true. It can definitely happen.
so your wife can love you and another guy.
Ah, you fucker.
And
I knew you were gonna
we
spin it
didn't say
back.
it was okay. We didn't say it was okay. We just said it's
No, I
possible.
said I
We just said
specifically
it's
outlined.
possible, nigga.
I specifically
It's
outlined
gonna be a problem.
a stage in life where that's possible. In a relationship, nah, no. In a relationship, it's about a union. So nah.
Honestly, in a relationship, it is about a union and whatever y'all, decide. If some people out there are fine with that, they're fine with it.
Okay.
Nah, I mean, some people like Jada and
Yeah.
Will, like Jada and Will, but I ain't trying to be like Jada and Will, man. Shit,
yeah. J. Cole fucked that up. He jinxed that shit. Give me
yeah,
that Will and
well,
Jada love. I don't want that shit, nigga.
yeah, not quite, you know what I mean, but I
I
mean,
say this: it's a possibility, but no, you can't. I don't think you can love more than one person because it's always gonna interfere each other.
he didn't say
'Cause
love, brother. He
what
he
you
said
said,
he said be romantically. What was the word? What would you say exactly, T? You
No,
said
I said
romantically something.
Romantically involved or something like that.
oh, I love. I thought.
he
Oh,
That's
said
not what.
love.
Nah, that's not what I heard. I heard
I heard
romantically.
romantic. I thought I had romantic feelings
No,
for.
Yeah,
Like romantically
yeah,
love. I like love like your brother. Like, can
It's two
you?
different things, dog.
no,
We talking about two different things now. You
no,
making me sound
I don't
terrible.
no.
think. I don't think that's.
Nah,
I don't
I
know if
don't
that's
know.
real love
I don't
though.
know if
That's
you.
more of a
I don't know if
lust.
you
That's
can
more of
love
a
two
lust.
women. You
Oh,
might be able to, but like I don't know.
No, you could
I
lust
think
for one
having
and love for
romantic.
other.
I think having romantic feelings towards someone is like implying like early stages potentially. I don't know. It's different verbiage, but whatever.
No, you just. I don't think you could love
Yeah,
more than
cause
one person. You can't. It's hard. Because how can
I'm
you
not.
love one person and give
I'm not.
her that attention and love the other one the same? Because they're both gonna ask you two different things.
you
That's
don't got
emotionally draining.
you don't got to give somebody attention because you love them. You know what I'm saying? I could be locked up and still love my wife.
No, the fuck you
Yeah.
can't. You only saying that because you got a
Yeah.
nigga next door to you, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? You got a nigga you share a bed with. And the closest shit you get to her when you get locked when you get those visitations. And nowadays I heard they don't even do that shit. You get video chats. You don't want you ain't saying you saying that shit now, beating your shit to some fucking to a picture like baby I love you. Yeah, you love her. You ain't never gonna see another woman for a long time. You're like, baby, I love you, baby. You talking that locked up shit. The fuck?
You crazy.
Oh,
But
man.
let's be real, man. How many men don't go to jail, go to prison, do a good a 5 to 10 year bid? Be like, oh baby, I love you. Motherfucker, come back up, my man. Horny ass dog. Where you at? You trying to tear everything up? Done slay every dragon he could see, from sea to sea. Hear that shit?
All right. I would try to spice it up, but that's all I got on that.
Yeah.
So what we got from this emotional cheating is the worst one, because physically it happens, you know what I mean? But you try to make sure that shit don't happen again. But emotionally will lead to bigger things. That's what we got out of this, right? That's what I got out of this. Emotional cheating is a lot worse
I
because
feel
it'll
like
always lead
I
to
feel like
another
we
bullshit.
sound like some straight up like this sounds like a conversation that was had by 4 men. We were like, yeah, the physical cheating, you can redeem yourself. Like I feel like we just pushed that to the side right quick.
We not pushing.
That's not what's said. That's not what's being said, dog. That's not what was being said. Yo, that sounds crazy.
Well, let's clarify that because I feel like we were just kind of like, oh yeah, you know.
No, we was just trying to clarify about emotional
Right.
cheating because it was legitimately questioned whether or not that was cheating or not. That was what the question was.
I mean,
and like to me, it's hard to say. It's very hard to say.
Some people,
You could look like an ass if you ass wrong and you got to slick somebody on the other side is slick. You might look like an ass. That's a fact. That's why it's a gray area.
Right, because some guys, when approached by their woman for doing something they shouldn't have done, their first thing is, we never slept together. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's their free card. But, like, if emotional cheating is more than physical cheating, then that shouldn't even be you know what I'm saying? That shouldn't help you at all.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It really shouldn't.
Yeah, real talk.
Good clarification though for anybody that was wondering.
So I think we covered that, man. I think we covered that. I think we covered the hell out of that, man. So yeah, I mean we about an hour into the show, man. I think we put a bow on this thing.
Didn't feel like an hour. That's the fastest hour in gas history.
Yeah, I think we put a bow on this thing, man. I mean, one thing for sure. This is not a topic, but yo, Miles Bridges, man, catching a felony charge after the same summer he was supposed to be getting a max contract. Got to be one of the most epic fumblings of the bag. And we talk about emotional cheating. We talk about damage. That worst thing that you could do in a relationship. I don't know. I think Miles Bridges is trying to check off a couple boxes on that list. But definitely a great show, fellas. Man, thank you, Angie. You've been hearing with us from the very beginning of the show to the very end, and it's late night. We appreciate you. Definitely feel like we were trying to, have a diverse conversation today. So I appreciate you tuning in to us. Appreciate all the listeners that are tapping in with us. Tap in with the pre-show, man. If you're on Spotify, you're catching us on the pre-show, check out our Patreon, man. We got some subscribers only content. It's only 99 cents. If you'd like to support Gas, we appreciate you. Check out Gas Elite. Shout out Coach T Boogie out here with the youth, uplifting the youth, man. We know if you don't know, we got a team out here, and we building up the next future of LeBrons out here. So watch out for that. Keep an eye out for the docu-series coming soon. And a couple other projects we're working on as well, man. Gas presents Sports for the Culture, man. You know how we close it out. Sports for the Culture.